After decades of debate on global warming, the world seems to have settled on one answer. Fossil fuels are causing it. Extreme heat, droughts, and floods are not any doomsday prediction. It's happening now. Further, fossil fuels are drying up. Every year, the world uses 35 billion barrels of oil. We have so far used 40% of the total, and remaining is estimated to end in the next 45 to 50 years. In 100 years, coal too will be over. On the other hand, we have abundant sun, water, and wind that can be used as fuel. They won't heat up the globe much and are renewable too. Thus, out of necessity, the world turned to renewable fuels. It is fast replacing fossil fuels. But there is a catch. Simply replacing fossil fuels means generating as much power as it is generating now. For that, we need large-scale solar and wind projects, resulting in many of the challenges as fossil fuel plants caused. Vast areas of lands and significant water resources are needed. Means acquisition of farmlands and forests, displacing the local communities, restricting their access to livelihood, denying them water. The Pavgada plant in Karnataka, which generates 2050 megawatt, has its solar panels spread across 53 square kilometers, mostly agricultural land, which will never be the same again.
Land use change at this huge scale at such a short time will have a huge impact on the local ecosystem and the services it provides. Experts have called for scientific research into the changes in the cultivable land after the 25 years lifespan of a solar power plant. Initial results show that the effects on soil fertility and groundwater recharge are not very promising. Now, some RE projects are allocated wastelands. However, the problem is in the designation and definition of what is considered as wastelands. Wetlands, marshlands, pastoral lands, and otherwise useful land is being classified as wasteland, and therefore any RE projects in these lands are also not without risks. Similar to solar power plants, wind farms also have a huge impact on land. One of the reasons is because wind farms invariably tend to be in forested and mountainous regions because of the nature of where wind is available in India. The other aspect is also all the supporting infrastructure surrounding wind farms. In one of the wind farms in Andhra, about 87 hectares of forested land was used for access roads. Now, this causes, discontinuity for the natural ecosystems there. Studies have also proven that access roads in mountainous regions cause land erosion and are also the reason for landslides. In the Pavgada solar power plant, we have noted that pastoralists have a huge issue in finding vegetation for their cattle to graze. Some of them have had to walk for long hours in very high heat to find some vegetation outside the solar park area. As India aims to increase its solar and wind production, an even stronger need for due process in land acquisition is needed. Land acquisition rules need to be strengthened and upheld.
Large-scale solar and wind projects need a huge supply of raw materials. For example, the latest battery developed to store the power generated needs lithium. And the race for lithium among countries has already begun. Many of the environmental issues will follow. Perhaps the wars fought for oil too. The solar panels, after its lifespan, is already creating environmental issues. They are not at all biodegradable. Many materials used are toxic too. Governments are now raking their brains to dispose them. The discussions and plans for the renewable fuel projects are happening without hearing the victims of fossil fuels in G7 and G20. The poor countries and poor people who face the brunt of global warming are kept out. Will they ever get compensated? Or are they going to suffer again in the new renewable fuels era? Those in the high tables are only looking for a replacement of oil and coal. Renewable fuel sources seems to fit their bill. It's abundant and now it's getting cheaper. If it's a simple transition from fossil to renewable, we are not at all going to solve anything. We may add up more problems also to the planet. What's the way out? Using less energy. But can we readjust our consumption and living patterns? Will we redistribute the generated power fairly? What's rolling out now should never be just a transition, but a just transition.